Over the past few months, it's become clear that there are a lot of threats coming to people wanting to exercise their reproductive rights, with the Supreme Court looking likely that it is going to absolutely gut Roe v. Wade in the near future. But even before that happens, there are a lot of potential obstacles if you're looking to exercise your reproductive rights, including tech ones that you may not even be aware of. So let's jump into research that was just done by the Center for Countering Digital Hate. They found that Google, purposefully or inadvertently, is directing users who search for abortion services to what are considered crisis pregnancy centers, which we've talked about many times on the show, but we're gonna talk about it again. So they used a Google Chrome extension called Location Guard, and researchers using that were able to perform searches for abortion clinic near me and abortion pill in each of the 13 so-called trigger law states. These are states where if Roe v. Wade is overturned, immediately abortion is going to become illegal. They then analyze the first page of results for each search. So imagine you're in one of these states and you're trying to find a place where you can get abortion services. 51 of the total 445 recorded results, or 11.5%, directed users to anti-abortion fake clinics, pregnancy crisis centers, or pregnancy resource centers. The findings were particularly acute on Google Maps, 37% of results presenting anti-choice providers as if they were local abortion clinics. So if you're not familiar with these, and by the way, we've talked about it multiple times. There's a great episode of the John Oliver Show on this. So crisis pregnancy centers are places that are designed to look, if you see the storefront or if you search for them online, as a place that you can exercise your reproductive rights. But you go in there, you ain't getting an abortion there. You're getting Bible tracts, and you're getting guilted, and you're getting, it's manipulation. That's all it is. They're designed, they're parasites. They're wolves in sheep clothing, with the sheep's clothing being a place where you can exercise your rights, designed to make it less likely that you do that. And here, Google is helping out with that. And in addition to the numbers we already told you, nearly 28% of Google ads displayed at the top of search result pages were for anti-abortion fake clinics. So in terms of the results, especially in terms of the Google Maps recommendations and the ads themselves, they are sending you towards people who are gonna try to, in a variety of ways, manipulate you out of exercising your rights. What do you think, Viviana?
I mean, we've all been on Google before and searched something and something ridiculous popped up instead. And so this is kind of like capitalism, right? You pay to get your ad there. Nobody's checking. They pop it up. They put it up there. Is Google intentionally allowing it? I don't know that they had this like malicious goal to do this, but they're definitely not checking to make sure that they're filtering them out. And that's what needs to be done, because there's gonna be a lot of people, especially as we come closer to Roe v. Wade on the chopping block. There's gonna be a lot of organizations out there using these tactics. And this is what they have been using even since the time of the Yellow Pages, to infiltrate and to get in front of anybody who's gonna try to go out and actually get medical care for an unwanted pregnancy. Now, Google has a responsibility, in my opinion, to filter these results and make sure that this is actually the services that they are providing, which they're not. They should be put under maybe like religious organization or something. I don't know how they need to categorize themselves, but this isn't like pay to play, like, oh, you just wanna be here, fine, we'll put you up top and you can say whatever you want. False advertising, right?
Yeah, and look, they get to be on Google. I get it. I just wish
say what you are.
They weren't included in there. Exactly. But they don't want
services.
to. They don't want to. They want to lie. Imagine if like you went on Google Maps and you searched for a 7-Eleven and it directs you to my place, 711, where you come in and I just convince you that the Big Bite will like absolutely wreck your digestive system.
Yeah.
Like that's not like, those should be separate categories, like the anti-hot dog and the hot dog place.
Look what's going on with the vegan stuff, right? There's like all the, you can't use milk on the labeling and you can't do this and you can't do that. So, let's call it what it is.
Yes, there's regulation that stops you from misrepresenting your product. And that is, it's not just a thing about their product. It is the core part of their strategy, is to deceive people. They're not interested in like getting people like, hey, you might be considering an abortion. We want to talk to you to make sure that you know what you're getting in. They're not interested in doing that. They want to get people in what is, I think, a social construct of feeling super vulnerable and potentially guilty, and they want to manipulate people in that vulnerable position. That's what they want.
A lot of people in that position, and a lot of people are attracted to those ads because they are confused and they don't know what their options are, and they want a safe place to go and discuss it. So that's why this needs to be really brought to the attention that these are not the services that they're providing. They need to be very clear about that. And this is kind of the world we're in now, John. Like, how much responsibility does Twitter have? Does Google have? Does Snapchat have? Like, where does that come in line with protecting the population? Because if there are no medical services provided there, then that needs to be clear. This is not a medical clinic. This is not medical services, and no medical referrals will be given to you.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no chance when you go in there that you can actually.
It's very sad.
There was, and by the way, if people, I don't know if maybe people have watched. There's a good depiction of this. It was in The Handmaid's Tale. There was a character who went to a place, and it turned out it was one of these places. I think there needs to be more depictions of this, especially because I want to jump ahead to graphic 5 and 6. This is an amazing number, that statistic. These sorts of places outnumber real abortion clinics 3 to 1. So it's not just that you might hit one; they're way more common.
It's really cheap. What do you need to do it? Just open a clinic, and you're to call it clinic. You have no professionals there. There's no training required. You just put a Bible and a candle, and you're done. Box of tissues.
I mean, maybe they have like an ultrasound machine to guilt you or whatever, but it's not like setting up an actual clinic. It's just it's a propaganda center. That's all. And by the way, let's bring up this map so you can see how they're distributed throughout the country. There's a billion of them. The wrong side on every issue is always so well funded. Like, that is what we're going up against. Yeah. There's so much free right-wing billionaire money that goes to this sort of thing. Why do they outnumber abortion clinics 3 to 1? Where is the billionaire money going to setting up new clinics and making sure that they're available?
Because it's expensive to open a medical clinic. It's expensive to have medical services and doctors and trained professionals there. That's not easy to put together. These people, need to make salaries to sustain themselves. But to open an office that all you need is a regular Joe off the street to talk to somebody, that's pretty cheap. It doesn't cost very much. And some of those people are so passionate about that side that they'll do it for free on top of it. Maybe they're volunteers running it.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.